Good morning, class. This is your English teacher, Sir Sanjay. I welcome you all to yet another session of online classes. In fact, YouTube session wherein we upload videos from time to time, and explain you the lessons of English workbook, coursebook, and grammar in detail. All right. So, without wasting any further time, let us begin today's lesson. Today's lesson is lesson number 4 from English Honeysuckle text, and the name of the lesson is An Indian American Woman in Space, Kalpana Chawla. You must have all heard this name before, Kalpana Chawla, have you? A very famous astronaut, Kalpana Chawla. Clear? Why does this name or the title of the story has Indian American? Because she was basically born and brought up in India. She completed part of her education in India, and then she moved to the USA, United States of America, where she, did the rest of her work and became astronaut. Okay. So have you seen the picture of Kalpana Chawla earlier? If not, here it is. This is Kalpana Chawla. Okay. In her space suit. Very intelligent and a pride for India. Okay. So before we actually begin reading, let's read the preface once. Okay. So in 1997, an Indian American called Kalpana Chawla, just give me a moment. In 1997, an Indian American, Kalpana Chawla, was part of the international crew. Was part of the international crew aboard the U.S. space shuttle Columbia. Clear? So she was the part of the international crew which went to the space, and the name of this space shuttle on board from US was Columbia. What was the name? Columbia. Clear? Not the name of the state and place. The name of the space shuttle was Columbia. All right. So she was part of that space shuttle called Columbia, and in the process she became the first woman born in India to go into space. Okay. Sadly, the second mission in Colombia ended in tragedy. Okay, but the mission did not go down as well as it should have. How and what were the circumstances under which these things happen? We'll read and find out. Okay, so here is the title: An Indian Woman in Space, Kalpana Chawla. Okay. So here is a warm-up exercise. Let us just see what is it. A space shuttle. What is a space shuttle? You should understand. It's a spacecraft. Okay. Spacecraft, you know, right? Imagine an aeroplane or something that flies high up in the space and goes towards space. Okay. So a space shuttle is a spacecraft that is made for repeated space travel. Okay, it will be traveling through space only, unlike a rocket. It's not rocket. There is a difference between spacecraft and rocket. Spacecraft is made for repeated travel into the space, but rocket, it dismantles and part of it falls down into the surface again. For example, between Earth and space stations. Space stations are special stations made in space where one can get in through space shuttles and spacecraft. Okay, you are asked to use a dictionary to find the tasks below. Find out the meaning of the following words and phrases. Look up the words, underline in the phrase. Okay, so some words are underlined. Naturalized US citizen. So find the meaning of the word and write them in the space provided. Okay, naturalized means what? Space. frontiers of space, abort, lift off. How is it different from takeoff? Then crew. So notice the spellings of these words in lesson: airplane, program. This is how these words are spelled in American English. Okay, how are they spelled in British English? See, American English and British English, there is massive difference. Not if not massive, there are some statistical differences. Okay, in US English, color is written as this. Similarly, in British English, we write color with this spelling. Okay, so some words are mentioned here, like airplane, AIRPLANE. This is US English. Okay, and in American, this is American English, and in British English, we write it as aeroplane. Right, there is this difference. Then what else do we have? Program. Okay, so in American English, you write program as PROGRAM. This is American English. And in British English, what do? You write the same thing as program. PROGRAMME. Okay. And this is the difference. There are many words which are spelled differently but pronounced in the same way in American and British English. Okay. So before we read, here is a news report. A news report from the tragic accident that took place. Okay, what is it? Let's find out. Tragedy in space. US space shuttle Columbia breaks into flames. Breaks into flame means what? It exploded and burned down. Okay, so let's try and read this. I'll just zoom it up for clarity of vision. In an unprecedented space tragedy, something that is not imaginable. Clear? In an unprecedented space tragedy, US space shuttle Columbia, carrying Indian-born American astronaut Kalpana Chawla and 6 others, broke apart in flames. Okay, it broke apart in flames. Flame means fumes of fire. Okay, it broke apart in flames. It streaked over Texas towards its landing strip on Saturday, 1 February 2003, killing all 7 on board. So what happened? The details of the tragic incident is written here. Okay, the US space shuttle Columbia, carrying Kalpana Chawla and 6 other crew members, exploded and its streaked fell over Texas towards its landing strip on 1st February 2003. It was Saturday. Okay, what happened is the shuttle lost contact with NASA. What is NASA? Yes, what is NASA? It's the US space agency, right? Like we have ISRO in India, Indian Space Research Organization. Similarly, NASA, National Aeronautic Space Administration, right? So the shuttle lost contact with NASA at about 9 a.m. 1930 hours Indian Standard Time, 7:30 Indian Standard Time. Okay, as it came in for landing, as it was trying to land, it lost contact with NASA at 9 a.m. It was flying at an altitude means height. Yeah. It was flying over at an altitude of over 200,000 feet. Okay, 200,000 feet and traveling at over 20,000 kilometers. So it was traveling at a very fast speed, 20,000 kilometers. Just imagine 100, 120, it's considered very fast speed, but here we are talking about 20,000 kilometer per hour. So with 20,000 kilometer per hour, if air shuttle is disrupted by tiniest of things, not tiniest of thing, if there is obstruction or if there is problem in landing and if it loses contact with ground, it is surely likely to face problem like it did. Clear? So yeah, So Columbia had lifted off on 16 January 2003. So it went into the space on January 16, 2003 from Kennedy Space Center, Florida. So, there is this space center located in Florida called Kennedy Space Center. So it took off from Kennedy Space Center on 16 January 2003. Okay, it had it had stayed in orbit for 16 days. So orbit, right? It kept moving in the orbit, stayed there for 16 days, and the 7-member crew conducted 80 experiments. They conducted over 80 experiments before they began their downward journey. But alas, the journey ended in tragedy. Okay, the shuttle exploded. This was Columbia's 28th space flight, and the shuttle was said to be good for 100 flights. Okay, it was only 28th flight for Columbia, and it was said that Columbia is such a good space shuttle that it is good enough for 100 flights. Okay, so now let's start reading. Okay, let's find out how, what, and what is there in the text. Okay, we'll read more about Kalpana Chawla and her struggles, not struggles, her hard work. Okay, Kalpana Chawla said that she never dreamed as a child in Karnal that she would cross the frontiers of space. Okay, so she is from a place called Karnal in India, and as a child, she never dreamed that she will cross the borders of space. Frontiers means border. Okay, she will ever go into space. Who never dreamed? Kalpana never dreamed. Okay, it was enough that her parents allowed her to attend engineering college after she graduated from Tagore School. So she got her graduate degree from Tagore School, and it was her parents who, allowed her to pursue engineering, and she thought it was enough. It was something very proud sort of moment for them. Okay, for her actually. So what happened? We are here now after a Bachelor of Science degree in aeronautical engineering. Okay, engineering that is concerned with space and related study. So after a Bachelor of Science degree in aeronautical engineering, against great opposition from her father, means her father was against her pursuing this, Bachelor of Science degree in aeronautical engineering, but she went on to pursue the same. She went for a master's degree now. Okay, she wanted to pursue master's degree to the United States of America. Clear, she wanted to learn more about aeronautical engineering, and that is why she was, aiming to pursue her master's degree in aeronautical engineering from the USA. And her father was completely against this. He did not want her to go to the US and complete this. Okay, but subsequently she went, and you know what happened? She later earned her PhD in aerospace engineering. Clear? So she excelled in her studies, and later on, what did she earn? She earned PhD, doctorate of philosophy. Clear? PhD in aeronautical engineering means she excelled in her studies and went on to earn, PhD degree even. Okay. Kalpana Chawla was the first Indian American woman astronaut to blast off from the launch pad at Cape Canaveral, Florida, and participate in a successful mission in space. So she was the first Indian American who, actually took off from the launch pad at Cape Cape Canaveral. It's in Florida. Okay, she was the first woman to do so, and she also participated in a successful mission in space. Okay, So she was getting accolades from early days itself. First, she got bachelor's degree in aeronautical engineering, and then she went on to pursue master's degree at the US. Then again, PhD degree, and then this one. Okay, launchpad at Canaveral, Florida. All right. So her family from India cheered along with staff at the Kennedy Space Center as they watched the Columbia liftoff. So her family members were very happy because every parent or everyone who's associated with Kalpana, not only a family member, it was a proud moment for the whole of India, right? No family member basically cheered along with the staff at the Kennedy Space Center as they watched Columbia lift off. Okay, Columbia was lifting off and they were cheering for it. They were very happy. All right, so let's continue reading. Kalpana. Now let's find out about more about Kalpana. Where did she grew up? Where was she born? And her early childhood days. Kalpana was born in Karnal, Haryana. Haryana, clear? Haryana, the one of the states of India. So she was born in Karnal, Haryana, but was a naturalized U.S. citizen. Okay. How was she a naturalized US citizen? If you are supposed to become a naturalized citizen, you will have to marry an American. Okay, so she married an American flight instructor by the name John Pierre Harrison. Clear? Since she married John Pierre Harrison, she became a naturalized US citizen. Alright. Beside being an astronaut, she was licensed to fly single and multiple engine land airplanes. So beside her engineering degree, she had certain qualities. Beside being an astronaut, she was a licensed pilot. She could fly single and multi-engine airplanes. Okay, single engine seaplane also and gliders. So she was full of quality. She had license to fly this single and multi-land airplanes, single engine seaplanes and gliders. Okay, she was also certified flight instructor. Okay, she was instructor, some sort of teacher, let's say one who's good enough to teach young recruits, young pilots into teaching and all. Okay, just so that you understand, I'm explaining you this way. So after qualifying as a pilot, Kalpana began to consider another challenge. So now she had qualified as a pilot. Clear? So she was taking a more challenge. These are signs of winners. Winners do not settle for one goal or simplest of thing. So since she was winner and she loved taking challenges, after becoming a successful pilot, she began to consider another challenge. What was the challenge? Let's find out. The challenge was applying to NASA space shuttle program. Clear? She was planning to apply for NASA space shuttle program. She was first hired and she successfully did that also. She was first hired as a research scientist at NASA. Okay. In the beginning she was hired as a research scientist. What happened in 1994 was she was selected by NASA for training as an astronaut. Okay, in 1994, she was selected by NASA for training as an astronaut. So she would be given the training to become an astronaut by NASA in the year 1994. Okay, so let's be following her as she kept working hard in her life. All right. So what I feel is. This is good for beginning. We will end our discussion here at para 3 for today. What we'll do is we'll follow it up in the next class. I'll try and complete the explanation by next class. Okay, so let us conclude the first session. I'll continue this chapter in the next class. Thank